Hello people, in this video let us look at juvenile delinquency. Okay, so basically juvenile is a person who is not an adult and delinquency is something like going wayward. So basically delinquency guys, delinquency is they committed some minor crime. Okay, so not an adult committed crime. So that is what it will be. So basically, in why this question is important for exam, you should understand, because as of now, we don't have juvenile delinquency law. Okay, Indian juvenile delinquency law is now replaced with Juvenile Justice Act. Okay, so that is why this question is important for exam. Juvenile Justice Act 2015, it was brought in place, right? So why that is why it is important. You understood, right? So basically, let's look at this. A child who has committed an offense. This is what is India's definition of juvenile delinquency. Basically, in India, this is not that big a problem because people still live with their parents and parents control things, right? So in India, it is still not that a problem. But because of westernization and etc., there is increasing juvenile delinquency. Okay, in India. Getting it, guys? Why we are looking at this? Because the crime is increasing and hence the law also has changed. So juvenile, they are saying, is a boy who has not attained 16 and a girl who has not attained 18. So if a boy has attained 17, he's not a juvenile. I think this is where the confusion came and they had to bring in new laws. So basically delinquency is not that you are doing some crime. It is deviation from normal youthful behavior. Okay. So what is it? It's deviation from normal behavior. Incorrigible, ungovernable, habitually disobedient, those who desert their homes and mix with immoral people. So behavioral problems, who indulge in antisocial practices. So they want to cover everything, not waiting for you to commit a crime, looks like, but yeah. Okay. So that is when they have brought this Juvenile Justice Act. So people, do you remember all the forensic science you have studied? A child below age of 7 is doli incapax. What is this? It is incapable, or the person is incapable of committing a crime, right? So this is what Indian law believes, right? Juvenile Justice Act, first of all, less than 7 years, not at all possible to commit a crime, doli incapax. Okay. A child from 7 to 12 years has only limited criminal liability. So a person who is up to 7 to 12 years, limited criminal liability. So what did we look at? Below 7. Okay, below 7, they are incapable of committing crime. Then from 7 to 12, right? 7 to 12, that's what they said, right? Limited criminal liability. Okay, then less than 16, that is 12 to 16 you can see. What is that? If a person below 16 commits offense, then he will get lenient punishment depending on previous history. His previous history, character, all that, and circumstances and all will matter. But this crime that he has committed should not be the one which is heinous. It should not be heinous. It should not be punishable with death or life in prison. Only then he will be considered that particular crime with lenient punishment based on previous history, character, circumstances. They will consider. Okay. Further, his sentence can be commuted for good behavior during the term of his imprisonment. So they can commuted means what? Stopped or cut, reduced. Okay, it can be reduced based on his good behavior in imprisonment. Okay. So did you understand? Basically, in the exam, they will ask you specific things. You can't just write generic stuff. You have to write these specifics. The specifics like doli incapax and all that. Okay. So now, what happens after 16? 16 to 18, if a juvenile is in conflict with the law and he is involved in heinous crimes, he can be tried as adult. This is the main change that has come in this Juvenile Justice Act 2015, which was given by the Ministry of Women and Child Development of Government of India. So what they are saying is, a juvenile in conflict with law in the age group of 16 to 18 involved in heinous offences like rape, murder, etc. can be tried as adults. Okay. I think you should mention that here. This happened after, you can mention also the Nirbhaya rape case, Nirbhaya rape case, etc. as examples which led to this Juvenile Justice Act. Okay. So let us look at the incidence in India. It is, like we told you, it is not that big a problem because we have still some parenting left. Now compare this scenario with America. Okay, this is India, where you are allowed to probably penalize a child, as parents, etc. But in America, etc., you are not allowed to hit a child, right? Etc. So many other types of punishments are not allowed in America. And then when it comes to a child, that child can never be left alone. Always there should be a babysitter, right? And you cannot even leave your child for a small errand and go, even probably at a very high age. And in India, there are different problems like children don't leave home. Especially sons are given ready-made houses and so they kind of eat on the parents, which is a new kind of problem here in India. So that is what is happening each place. There are a lot of problems. Anyways, let us look at incidents. In incidents, boys are having more issues, right? So in India, it is increasing because of urbanization, industrialization, etc. Causes. Why is there juvenile delinquency, guys? Why is there juvenile delinquency? What are the causes? Right, we told you already some things. Let us look at what the textbook says. Biological causes, certain biological causes such as hereditary, feeble-mindedness, physical defects, glandular imbalance. Just blame it on your gland. Wow. Commit crime, blame it on hormones. Interesting. So chromosomal anomaly, blame that. Okay. What else? Extra Y chromosome. The XXY men suffer from severe disturbance of the whole personality. This is like a super male or what? People have extra Y chromosome and they behave badly. So we have to say that it comes with the chromosome. Interesting. So what and all will you blame, guys? Feeble mindset, hereditary, physical defects, glandular imbalance, extra Y chromosome, etc. Coming to social causes. Among the social causes, guys, what are we looking at? Juvenile delinquency causes, mainly biological. We finished. Let's go to social. Social, death of parents, separation of parents, stepmothers, disturbed home conditions. See, stepmothers becomes a big issue because problem here in India is that once a mother dies, right? What the father is, and they have a child, let's say, okay? So the father in India gets rewarded with a new fresh female for the sake of the child, which never happens. Father never considers marrying a widow. No, he gets rewarded for becoming a widower. So these are social issues in India, and the stepmother obviously is a stepmother, and there are problems, and that leads to juvenile delinquency. I think this video is becoming very heavy, right? Yeah. So other causes are also there. Alcoholism, parental neglect, ignorance of child, too many children. Okay. Anyways, this is kind of reducing in India, so too many children should come down. Anyways, other causes, absence of recreational facilities, cheap recreation, sex thrillers, urbanization, industrialization, cinemas and television. Blame cinema and television, guys. You'll get a lot of marks in the exam, right? Okay, so you got it now. What are the causes of juvenile delinquency? Biological, social, other causes, blame TV, movies, cheap recreation, urbanization, industrialization, etc. Okay. Preventive measures, guys. Let us look at preventive. Now, finally, we reach preventive measures. Improvement of family life. Okay. A well-adjusted family can stem the tide of delinquency. So, family. Blame it on parents. Family. Okay. Parents should be prepared for parenthood. Yes, this is very important. I totally agree with this. This is very important. Parents should be prepared for parenthood. Actually in India, what is happening? Girls are getting married at 18, at least at this day that we are recording, and we see a pregnant mother at 19. So many cases in gynecology. Why? Okay, you got married for whatever reason. Couldn't there have been any spacing here? This is what is shocking. And they are mainly having the pregnancy because of in-laws. As a parent, as a mother, you should be ready for having the child, right? Okay, then. Schooling, guys. The school is the next home. So school should order the behavior of the child and they should detect any signs of maladjustment and counsel the child, right? Social welfare services. So there are a lot of social welfare services, right? For adolescents, maybe we'll have to list these. Comprise recreational facilities, parent counseling, child guidance, education facilities, adequate general health services. Okay. Then there is, we will look at the national programs, but just look at what other slides are there. Probation of juvenile offenders, we told you, right? They will release them from detention if there's good behavior. Also under Juvenile Justice Act in India, they have covered the procedure of adoption of orphaned, abandoned, surrendered children. Okay. Adoption also is a part of it. Now let us look at some national programs for any adolescent. See, can you think of any national programs, guys, which will help reduce all this juvenile delinquency? I think, see, Factories Act says that above 14 years, anybody can be employed in non-hazardous, right? Non-hazardous and 4 hours per day or something, right? So this is very important, guys. Whenever you see somebody who's young boy working or a young girl working somewhere, don't jump into conclusion that it is child labor. No, it is not child labor. 14 years above, they can work, okay? See, and then you have this RMNCH plus A. They have added that adolescent component, right? So under that, for adolescents, they have this Rashtriya Kishore Suraksha Karyakram. Rashtriya Kishore Suraksha Karyakram. Okay, let's see what this does. Actually, it's just Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram. Okay, I think this is more about health. But here the objectives, they have improved the nutrition, sexual and reproductive health, mental health, injuries prevent, violence you prevent substance misuse. So this is enough for us. What do you? So this is the National Adolescent Health Program. It seems to cover everything, guys. What we were looking for, we seem to have got. What do you say? This is the National Adolescent Health Program, and the objectives are improve the nutrition, improve sexual reproductive health, enhance mental health, prevent injuries, violence, prevent substance abuse. That's enough, right? These are the objectives. For girls, they have some other programs. For girls, you have Kishori Shakti Yojana, Sabla, Empowerment Adolescent Girls. See, Saksham is for empowerment of adolescent boys, guys. So remember Saksham and Sabla, okay? And you have something like all-in-one initiative, End Adolescent AIDS. Not completely related here, but let's add this because it's for adolescents, right? All in, that's it. It's just called All In. And this is for End Adolescent AIDS, okay? See, this All In is UN AIDS. UN launches All In initiative to end adolescent AIDS. So this is by whom? By UNICEF. Okay, it's a UN AIDS plus UNICEF initiative. Okay. In Anemia Mukt Bharat, adolescent females 15 to 19 also get iron and folic acid tablet. Okay, they get the blue tablet. The blue tablet they get. They're girls, but they're getting blue tablet. Remember, under Anemia Mukt Bharat. Red is given to pregnant female. Then, I think this is it, guys. So let's take a recap of what we have seen in this video. Okay. So in this video, we wanted to look at juvenile delinquency. Juvenile is a person who is not an adult yet, and delinquency is some crime. Okay. So when this not such an adult person has committed a crime, what to do? So the juvenile delinquency, a child who has committed an offense. So basically, we are not only talking about crime here. Deviations from normal youthful behavior, incorrigible, ungovernable, habitually disobedient, those who desert their homes and mix with immoral people, those who have behavioral problems, indulge in antisocial practices, all those people are covered under the juvenile delinquency. Basically, the juvenile delinquency law was there before, now it is not there. Now what we have is the Juvenile Justice Act of 2015 given by the Ministry of Women and Child Development of Government of India. So basically what it says is a juvenile who's in conflict in law with, in the age group of 16 to 12 years involved in heinous offences like rape and murder can be tried as adults. Example, the Nirbhaya rape. Actually, this is the starting, this is one of the, triggers for coming up with this Juvenile Justice Act. So basically you have to learn here that a person who is less than 7 years, they cannot commit crime at all. That is called as doli in capex. Okay, in capex, incapable of committing a crime, doli in capex. some 7 to 12 years, what happened? They have limited criminal liability. From their below 16 years, they'll get lenient punishment depending on their previous history, character, circumstances which led them to commit the crime, etc. And further, by good behavior, they can be released. Now, coming to the people who are 16 to 18, if they commit heinous crimes, they can be tried as adults, okay? So, we have something like the Juvenile Justice Board. Who and all is there in this board, you'll have to see. Basically, the Juvenile Justice Board, more than punishing them, they want to reform them, okay? Counsel the child to understand their actions and persuade them away from criminal activities in the future. Okay, who and all will be there? The Juvenile Justice Board consists of judicial magistrate of the first class and 2 social workers. At least one of them should be a woman. Okay, so they will resolve cases within 4-month period. Most of them will be released by bail itself. Okay, it's a child-friendly space and it should not be intimidating or overwhelming for the child. How should that board be? Also, it should not be like a like a court or something. It should be more friendly, child-friendly space. Okay. So what is the aim? You want to counsel the child. Okay. So who should be there in Juvenile Justice Board? Judicial magistrate of the first class and 2 social workers. At least one should be a woman. Okay. First class magistrate. Remember. JMMM. What is JMMM? Judicial magistrate. Okay. Incidence is more in the West. In India, it was not that much, but in India, it's increasing now because of urbanization, industrialization, and the incidence is more in boys. What are the causes, if they ask? You will say biological causes like hormones, glandular imbalance, physical defects, extra Y chromosome. If people have, blame it on that extra Y chromosome. Social factors like broken families, stepmothers. So stepmother is not a very, very good idea. It's better for the father who is a widower. It's better marry another widow who has a child probably, right? Kind of balance it out for both children. Okay. Then alcohol, smoking, etc., etc. Too many children also you can blame. If people have too many children, then obviously they'll ignore their child, right? Then other causes, cinema, television, urbanization, industrialization, cheap recreation, etc. Then you can blame all your video games also, right? What do you say? So guys, preventive measures, improvement of family life, parents should be prepared for parenthood, schools should enable these children, social welfare services also should help, okay, parent counseling, child counseling, guidance, education, etc., right? See, basically these people will get a max of 3 years of punishment, looks like. Punishment or something, they'll have to stay in some, called as this Borstal. Type of youth detention center, okay, Borstal. So basically they have to be counseled and reformed, okay. What else are we looking at here? Also covered under Juvenile Justice Act, you have adoption procedures for orphan, abandoned, surrendered children. That's what the Juvenile Justice Act is also concerned with, the adoption of orphaned, abandoned, surrendered children. National programs for adolescent, let us see what and all is there. Factories Act 1948, you know, a person who's about 14 years, he can be employed in non-hazardous work, right? Guys, they can work 4.5 hours daily, they can work, okay? So you can say 15 to 18, they're saying. 15 to 18 years, 4.5 hours a day they can work. RMNCH place A, adolescent, for adolescent, this A has been added under this reproductive, maternal, newborn, child and child health. They have now added adolescent. They have Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram, RKSK. This is also called as National Adolescent Health Program. Under this, they are going to give improved nutrition, improve sexual and reproductive health, mental health also, prevent injuries and violence, prevent substance misuse. Then you have for girls, Kishori Shakti Yojana, KSY. Sabla is empowerment of adolescent girls. Then Saksham is empowerment of adolescent boys. All in is End Adolescent AIDS. This is by UN AIDS plus UNICEF initiative. Then under Anemia Mukt Bharat, for adolescent female 15 to 19, they have a blue tablet. Okay. So this is about juvenile delinquency, guys. We're done with this video. We'll meet you in the next one. Bye bye.